civilization. Dear friends, human civilization, since the 5,000 years of existence on the planet, has been wounded by 14 divides of limited identities. These divides being, first, racism, culminate into Holocaust, killing more than 6 million people world over. Second is orthodox religion. Religion is good, basis of our existence. But when religion becomes orthodox, it leads to crusade, riots, and infinite terrorism. Seeing devil everywhere outside, but not seeing evil inside us. Next limited identity is regionalism. Limited identities of region, geography, and demography leads to civil wars and killing people and making their life miserable. Next divide is color of skin. Whether you are white, black, red, or yellow. As if the color of cow decides the color of its milk. Next divide is caste. Dividing divine into discrimination. Disintegrating communities, nations, societies, families, even personalities. Next divide is class. Whether you are class 1 people, class 2, class 3, class 4, dividing people on the basis of power and influence. VIP people, very, very important people. Martin Luther King rightly said, you cannot create a class 1 nation with class 2 citizens in that. Next divide is fanatic nationalism. It's good that we love our country. We should all. But when we use languages of superlatives and comparatives, then it creates the trouble. When I say my nation is better than yours, or I say it is best, it hurts and appears arrogant. And it leads to 2 world wars. Dear friends, since last 3,400 years, wars have killed 1 billion people world over, out of which 108 million people died of wars just in 20th century. Still, when I am talking to you, 22 million armed forces across the planet are ready to attack on each other on a single command. Next divide is gender. Women had to fight for a millennia just to get voting rights and equality in the society. Next divide is prosperity. Rich versus poor. 90 million people die out of hunger every year on the planet, out of which 33% are kids, innocent children. While I will complete my talk with you, 30 to 40 children will die out of hunger. Next divide is thoughts. Even after 2 world wars, we had capacity left to have 50 years of Cold War, generating more than 80,000 to 1 lakh nuclear weapons, good enough to convert whole our planet into a fireball. Next limited division, limited identity is sexual orientation. Lesbian, gay, transgenders have been fighting for last 4,000 years just to get dignity and equality in society without guilt. Next is status. Whether you belong to a winning clan or the losing clan. If you belong to a losing clan, you will be enslaved. And for centuries of slave trade have killed millions of slaves in the slave trade. Next limited identity is species. We human consider ourselves as the owner of the planet. We converted ecosystem into ego system and killing more than 77 billion animals, slaughtering these animals just for the taste buds of mankind. Last is habitat. When habitants consider themselves separate from the habitat, they start exploiting it, leads to natural disasters and calamities. Dear friends, let's take a pause. Let's take a pause and think what these limited divides, limited identities brought to us. It made us the most intelligent and most unhappy species on the planet. But in the heart of heart, we all know, all religion scriptures say this, that we are one in consciousness. There is one stream of consciousness that flows in all of us. We may have various name, form, caste, creed, but we are one in essence. To celebrate that oneness, that divine beyond these divide,